Welcome to day 11 of the 17-day yoga challenge. Woohoo! Day 11. So how are you feeling today? I hope that you're feeling a benefit from having a regular, consistent practice and that you're feeling the effects of that. So let's go ahead and dive in today. It's a little bit colder day, so I'm going to stay slightly bundled up here. So just right off, how are you feeling? Let's do the check-in right off. How are you feeling? What is the temperature read for today for you? How is your energy level? How does your emotions, your mood feel? How are you? Where are you at? So take that check-in and see where you are. And then I'd like to ask you, where would you like to go today? How do you want to feel at the other end of today's practice? So I was feeling a little grounded today, grounded in a good way, but energetically my energy was feeling definitely more down to the earth. And it was interesting because when I came up here to set up to do this, I do the snapshot photo beforehand and I hear this fluttering in my ear, and it was a hummingbird with this beautiful pink iridescent feathers around its neck and head, and it hung out with me for a moment, and I noticed that I got very giddy and excited because of the hummingbird. So I'm bringing that hummingbird energy with me right now. So for you, check in, see where you want to get to today, and then let's go ahead and dive in and move through this pathway. So any low frequency energy, anything that feels out of balance, anything that feels confusion, doubt, fear, any of those lower frequency energies that might be present for you today, the pathway through the movement is a creative exploration to transform those energies into something of a higher frequency. That is the sacred container that we are in, and that is how I am anchoring that sacred container in for the day, saying high frequency energy, low frequency energy is transforming. So let's begin by taking the hands together at the heart, taking a few breaths here at the heart, grounding in through the feet, letting the knees be bent, and just beginning to charge through the feet, just as we have done in the practices, inhaling and exhaling, connecting this movement with the breath. And as we're charging the pathways from the earth through the leg channels, let's inhale the arms up the midline and open and expand and reach all around to fill that luminous energy field around you with crystalline light, bringing the earth energy up, taking it all the way up the chant midline, pressing the feet into the earth and reaching out. Feel yourself stretch from the feet all the way to the fingertips, and then draw that crystalline light around the body, encasing yourself in that beautiful light that is nurturing to you, your soul, to who you are. And one more time, inhale, press into the earth. Press the soles of the feet firmly into the earth, and then expand and open that luminous energy field around the body. And let the arms be by the side here for a moment. Take a couple natural breaths. We're going to come into Nadi Shodhana. And when you're ready, inhale to begin. And once you complete the final round of Nadi Shodhana, let the arms come by the sides, feeling the feet connected to the earth, letting the breath be natural, and just letting yourself stand in your own posture, in your own alignment. Just notice how the body is in this vertical upright position. And notice any areas where you might be holding yourself rigid or tight, and soften those areas. And that might mean that the posture becomes a posture that we think is not a great posture. But give into, if you feel like slouching forward, slouch forward. Give into it. If you want the head to drop forward, let the head drop forward. Just notice how you're standing. And then look down at the feet. Go ahead and turn the feet so the outer edges of the feet are aligned with the flat edges of the mat. And bend the knees and press in evenly through the soles of the feet. And when you breathe in, I'll let the airplane continue to go by. When you breathe into all of the corners of the body, all the way into the head, the feet, the fingertips, into the back side of the body, into the front side of the body. Imagine as though that inhalation is expanding you in all directions. And just let the breath make any subtle adjustments to your posture. So you're not controlling the adjustment, you're letting the breath make the adjustment. And when you exhale, just surrender into the breath and let the breath draw you into whatever posture feels right. And if you're feeling that trembling energy in the legs, reminding you that that is the charge, the leg pathways opening as the energy begins to flow through the legs. So allow that charge to move through the body as you connect in with the breath. Many movement practices begin with standing, just simple standing, and being aware of how we're standing and finding a natural form of alignment. And sometimes to find our natural alignment, we have to give in to what we would call our misalignment. And from there, when we use the breath can rebalance and realign us into what feels as though we're stacked in integrity. So where the knees gently bent, stack over the ankles, and the hips are stacked over the knees, and the shoulders are stacked over the hips, and the head is evenly balanced between the shoulders, not too far forward, which is common for many of us these days. So if you find that you're pushing your chin forward, allow it to come slightly back and in and up. And it helps to put the tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth, and you can think as though the tongue is extending the crown of your head, pushing the head up to the sky. But use the breath to realign these movements. And just let your body take a few more breaths here, standing, simple standing. Today's practice is a simple pathway. So if you're ever feeling chaos, confusion, a lot of movement of energy, ideas, a huge to-do list, lots of different activities on your schedule, it helps to simplify, to slow down and simplify. So this is an opportunity to come into simple movement. Today's practice is going to be mostly on the floor. So let's step to the top of our mat, and we'll follow the pathway to the earth the same way that we have been doing. So we'll reach down and gather the earth energy, pulling it up, moving nice and slow with the breath. And as you reach the palms, the fingertips towards the sky, bend the knees and let the hips just hang out of the shoulders a little bit, and let that draw the shoulders down. And just natural breath here. And at the peak of the next inhalation, on the exhale, draw the hands down, and as the hands move by the head, let them draw the head forward, and then draw the shoulders forward, and let that roll come down, letting the hips begin to bend, and then the knees begin to bend, and then the upper body comes down to the thighs as the hands come down to the earth, knees are bent. Inhale, extend through the backs of the legs, release the crown of the head to the earth, and then inhale just a few pulsations here as you bend the knees and look to the earth, and then exhale and look to the space between the knees. Inhaling, bend. Exhaling, extend, letting the breath guide this movement. Engaging the Mula Bandha as you lift the pelvic floor. And then let's hold here for a moment, knees gently bent. If it's not comfortable, your hands don't come to the earth, that's okay. They can be on the shins. You can rest the elbows on the thighs, be in whatever works for your body. If you have a prop, you can have your hands there as well. And just naturally breathe. Top of the head faces the earth. And then from here, we're going to hold very gently Uddiyana Bandha. So this isn't a deep Uddiyana Bandha. So exhale all the breath out of the body. And then pull the belly button to the spine and then lift the belly up, holding the breath out. Very gentle contraction, not full contraction. When you need to breathe in, inhale gently. And exhale, bend the knees and go ahead and walk both feet back until you're on the knees. So on the hands and the knees, let's move through just a creative exploration as you feel into your spine here. You can roll it side to side. You can lift the mid-back. You can drop the belly to the earth. You can wag your tail from one side to the next. So just micro movements connected with the breath. Feeling deep into the subtleties of the movement. You might want the eyes closed, but it's also okay to have the eyes opened. Your gaze is towards the space between the fingertip, between the palms of the hands on the earth, so looking directly down towards the earth. Spread the fingers wide and draw the thumbs toward one another, and roll the elbows under, and continue to roll through the spine, massaging the vertebra, the muscles of the back, the shoulders, and let the head come into the movement. So whatever movement you're doing, let the head move as well. Whatever feels right. This should feel like a gentle massage to your nervous system as well as your spine. And you might find that there's some areas that you hit a wall with the movement. Maybe your body doesn't want to open up into that space. So when you get there, just pause and breathe. So just as all this strong vinyasa style poses have their potency, so do these very subtle movements as well. They really give us an opportunity to look deep within, and it also gives our nervous system a chance to really decompress. So these earth-grounded, subtle, slow yin style movements are potent medicine for our entire being. Just allow yourself to keep lubricating the spine with the breath and gentle movement. And then from here, take the hips wider, or the knees wider than the hips. And you want the hips to be stacked over the knees. And from here, keeping that position of the hips over the knees, walk the hands forward and drop the heart to the earth. This is called Anahatasana. It's the heart melting into the earth. If this feels awkward for the shoulders, you can put the forearms on the earth. You can come up onto the fingertips or try taking the hands wider. And let there be a pulsation here as you gently inhale and rise and exhale and melt to the earth. You can take the forehead down to the earth if that feels good, or you can rest the chin on the earth if that feels good. If you have any neck injuries, you might want to be mindful of putting the chin on the earth. Tune into your body. Again, no pain. Explore this movement. And then from here, walk the hands back so that they are underneath the shoulders. So you have an option here. We're going to come up into plank, or you can stay on hands and knees. So let's build the plank first. Palms flat on the earth, thumbs pointing in towards one another. Roll the elbows under, the elbow creases roll in. The armpits roll under the shoulders. And from there, let's draw the spine to a neutral position. Pull the belly towards the spine, look directly down towards the earth, and then take one leg back. And if you feel like you want to go further, take the other leg back and allow yourself to pause here in plank, breathing deep breaths, full inhalation, full exhalation. And now take the right knee in to the chest and the knee to the nose. Extend the leg back, and then the other knee into the nose, and then return the foot to the earth. Take the knees to the earth, walk the hands forward, dropping into Anahatasana. Belly to the earth, heart to the earth. Breathe. And then walk the hands back and bring the palms under the shoulders, and allow yourself to oscillate the spine in whatever movement feels right for your body. As subtle, as slow, as simple as that movement is. And then once again, prepping the plank by grounding the palms of the hands into the earth. Spreading the fingertips wide, roll the elbows under and then the armpits under, draw the belly to the spine, engaging the core muscles, eyes gaze towards the earth, one leg back, and then the other, taking a couple breaths here in plank. And then right knee into the nose and return, and left knee into the nose and return. We'll keep going with these, going from side to side, moving slowly, consciously. And if it gets to be too much, just come down onto the hands and knees and continue with the movement. And if you're doing it on the hands and the knees, when the knees return to the earth, you can drop the belly to the earth and look up to the sky, and you can increase the range of motion here, going into a cat as the knee comes in, exhaling, inhale as the knee returns, looking up to the sky, and then exhaling, knee to nose, and returning this knees to the earth. And from here, let's set the hips back on the heels and come forward into child's pose. You can either rest the hands in front of you and the forehead on the hands, or the hands behind you and the forehead on the earth. Surrendering into the earth. Letting yourself be present with however you feel. If we're not feeling energetic, if we're not feeling at our best, sometimes the pathway through is just to be in acceptance with where we are. So can we move today with the quality of how we feel, knowing that in time it will shift, but can we let go of the resistance to control the shift? Can we learn from what is being shown to us? And from here, walk the fingertips all the way forward, extend them long overhead, and inch the fingers forward until you can feel a stretch through the spine. And then come up onto hands and knees. And from here, rise up into plank. And then from here, let's take the right foot forward into lunge. And just pause here for a moment in lunge, and you can lower the hips to the earth and inhale and round, finding that pulsation as you coil, inhaling and exhaling. Feeling that same motion of the spine. Inhale and the spine rounds like in cat, and inhale and the spine extends like in cow. And then from here, drop the back knee to the earth. And so gently extend out through the front right leg. Keep the knee gently bent. Fingertips are on the earth, whatever feels right for you. And breathe into the hamstring, the back side of the right leg. Gazing towards the big toe. Letting the breath guide the movement, the subtle movements in the body, knowing that there is no stagnation in these asanas. There's subtle movements and micro adjustments happening with every moment. And then from here, let's return into low lunge. Lift the back leg and step the right foot back into plank. And then from here, let's step the left leg forward. Pausing here in lunge as we feel this pulsation as we drop the hips to the earth and then lift the hips, which causes the spine to round. Inhaling and exhaling, finding your breath pattern that works and letting the whole spine come into the movement. So the head, as you coil through the belly, the head releases. As you extend through the spine, the neck follows the motion. And then from here, set the back knee to the earth and pull back through the left leg. Lift the toes off the earth, walk the hands back, and breathe into the hamstring of the left leg. Again, this left knee can be bent to whatever feels right for you. If your hamstrings are really tight, then you'll find whatever place is best for your body. Connecting the movement with the breath, the eyes are gazing towards the big toe. And then this left foot comes down to the earth, low lunge, and then high lunge, stepping the left foot back to plank. Pausing here for just a moment, returning the knees to the earth and resting back into child's pose. Walking the fingers, the hands forward, extending them long. Feeling that stretch through the back and the shoulders and the side body, coming up onto hands and knees. Finding a little bit of oscillation in the spine. Just a couple breaths, a couple rounds. Stabilizing into the plank as you build the foundation first. And then from the foundation, rise into plank. From here, draw one knee into the nose. And then the other knee into the nose. Repeating that a few times. Remembering that it is okay to be on the hands and the knees here. Tune in for what you need. And you know what you need because whatever feels the most nourishing and enjoyable, whatever feels the most pleasant, whatever allows the breath to be natural. And then from here, let's go ahead and step the right foot forward. Drop the back left knee. And you're going to walk the right foot over to the left and set that right knee down. We're coming into pigeon. So modify this according to what works for your body. If you have any knee or hip injuries, then you're going to make adjustments accordingly. Press the palms into the earth. You can use support here. If you need to place something under the hip, you can. If it's too much on the knee, then you can release the leg. You can also just come into simple seated position if that doesn't feel great for your knees. This is also allows the hips, the thighs to open. So if pigeon is too much for you, then allow yourself just to come into a simple sitting pose. Either one will work here. Or you might be tuning in and finding that there's something else that this movement is how this movement is wanting to be expressed through you might be coming through differently than pigeon. And then if it feels right, you can come onto the elbows. Exploring the movement here. If it feels good, you can curl the left toe under and make any adjustments to it. So always let there be just a little bit of movement in these asanas, connected with the breath. The breath guides the process. It shows you the way to what your body needs in this moment. And if it feels right for you, you can press the right hand into the earth and lift the left leg up and reach back and create a little bit of a quadricep stretch here. Be gentle with yourself. Notice that my kneecap of the left foot is not on the earth. I'm on the front of the thigh here. And then we'll release the left hand, the left foot, plant the hands into the earth, lift the back leg, and work that right foot back into plank. Breathe. And then from here, step the left leg forward, drop the back right knee, walk the left foot across to the right side of the mat, drop the left knee very gently, being mindful. And you might find, if you notice, I'm kind of leaning to the left as I come into this, as I explore my body here. So we didn't go through a rigorous warm-up to come into these here. We're using them in a very gentle way. So as I ease into them, I'm being mindful and I'm not ramming my body into them. I'm being gentle and tuning in and saying, how does that feel? Does that feel good? Does that feel right? Am I compromising myself anywhere? How do I need to adjust? How do I want to be in this position? And I'm going to keep making micro adjustments until I find that sweet spot, that place where I feel the stretch, I feel the opening, I can ease in. I'm not hanging in my joints, but I'm engaged. The breath is natural. And if you want, you can come down onto the elbows. And depending on your yoga practice and what you've been doing today, if you've had an active day, your body might already be slightly warmed up here. You can drop all the way down, but it isn't necessary. You can come to whatever position you're in, and it also might feel better to create an opening through the front of the body, so you might want to stay up. This has its benefit as well because it really does allow the belly to open and expand, the heart to open and expand, and the shoulders to drop down the spine. And from here, if it feels right for you, you'll lift the right foot up off the earth very gently. This is an intense stretch. Reach back with the right hand and create a stretch, a gentle stretch through the right quadricep. Breathing. And releasing the right foot. planting the hands into the earth and then stepping that left leg back to plank. And from here, dropping the knees and then sitting back into child's pose. It's occurring to me the sound may have cut out on this video again, so if it did, I apologize. But here we are arriving in this moment, meeting each other here, taking the palms together at the heart and seeing how you feel. If you've made it to this moment and stuck with me through the sound being gone, then good job for not abandoning your practice just because there was a shift in the technology. So how do you feel here in this moment? And we'll go ahead and conclude with 3 ohms. Inhale. Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Thank you. The light in me bows and honors the light in you. Thank you for being present in the yoga challenge and for staying with me through technology issues. And I hope the practice today was grounding and nurturing to your nervous system. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you.